Let's see what kind of delay we're on. All right. Guys, we're going to get started here in just a few minutes. We're just going to share these on a couple of our pages. Thanks for joining us this morning. Is that like a half sneeze or a half cough?
Bless you. It was like trying to hide it from everybody else, but it didn't work. So.
No. Good.
Technically, it was a sneeze.
Gotcha.
He's trying to be discreet.
Yeah, he was trying to be. It didn't work, did it?
Trying to do the word live on here.
I gotcha. There we go. We're just doing a couple more things here, guys. Thanks for joining us. Whoops. We've got a few watchers coming in.
Did Kim ever text you back?
Who?
Kim?
No. Kim is snoozing this morning, I think.
Must be nice.
Yes. Aha. There's what I was looking for. Boom. And awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Knoxville Business Show. We are so excited that y'all are tuning in, watching this morning. So we have an opportunity this morning to have someone pretty special with us. And you can ask questions live during the broadcast. Lindsey,
Yes.
welcome.
Hi.
Thanks for being here. Tell us a little bit about Lindsey Johnson.
Oh, a little bit about Lindsey Johnson or my business.
A little about you, and then we'll get into the business.
Well, I'm married. I have 3 kids, so I pretty much work from home. Very crafty, artistic. Anything that I can try to do to save money, I'm going to do it.
Yes.
I don't know, try to save money, you know.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to buy from a big company. If I can do it myself, I'm going to do it myself.
So were you like back in the day when we had like coupon queens? Would that have been you?
Yes,
Are
that
you like
was
a
me.
modern day coupon queen?
Yes, and I did. I couponed.
Really?
Yes, till it got to be too much. It was overwhelming.
Yeah. My mom used to do that all the time as a kid.
Yeah.
It was my job to organize them.
Oh, my
And
kids
I
helped me.
hated it.
My kids helped me.
Oh,
We would go to Kroger and we would line up, and I would give them their coupons to do. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And before I started doing this, I stopped couponing.
Okay.
Yeah, this kind of took over everything. Yeah.
Wow. So you grew up in Tennessee?
Nope, I grew up in Louisiana. And
what part of Louisiana?
Monroe, Louisiana.
Well, I got a friend, he may be watching. He is from West Monroe.
Hey, my family lives in West Monroe, Calhoun.
Okay.
Yeah.
This guy's name is Josh Culp. He owns a business called Culp Solutions. Made our shirts and makes our hats and everything. So,
nice.
Cool part. I lived in Louisiana for 4 years.
What part?
Fort Polk, Louisiana.
Okay, down south.
Yeah, by Leesville, Alexandria. So, awesome.
Farther.
So when did you move to Tennessee?
We moved to Tennessee about 2 years ago. I spent 10 years of my adult life in Florida.
Okay.
That's where my kids were raised most of their life.
Okay.
So, Florida's not a great place to raise kids.
Yeah.
Tennessee's great, though. We love it here.
Well, what drew you to Tennessee?
Better job opportunities here.
Okay.
My husband has a good job here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you found yourself with 3 kids.
Mhm.
And you're the coupon queen for a while.
Yeah.
And then you realized that you were already kind of thrifty.
Yeah.
And you liked, I guess, we'll call it upcycling maybe and recycling. So what got you interested in, tell people a little about now, your company and kind of what led you down that road?
Well, we had kind of outdated furniture, and I really wanted new furniture, but I couldn't afford new furniture. So I got on Pinterest and was like, okay, well, I can paint my furniture. Then I started looking at the big brand, the chalk paint that was like recommended, and I couldn't afford it. So I went down to Hobby Lobby and I bought their chalk paint that was like $8.
Yeah.
And I started with that. Well, that just ran me into a whole new world of redoing furniture. That's where it all started.
So it started with your
my
furniture.
Yes.
Because you wanted something new.
Yes.
But you knew you didn't want to go out and spend the money or couldn't afford to go out and spend the money right now. So you're like, okay, let me just give this thing a facelift.
Yes. But I'm here to tell you that if you're going to do it, don't go buy the Hobby Lobby furniture.
Oh, no.
Paint.
This is not a paid advertisement for Hobby Lobby, by the way.
Yes. Don't buy the Hobby Lobby because it's crap. I didn't know what I was doing.
But was it a good place to potentially start and practice?
Yes,
I mean, was it
absolutely.
fair to say that that was okay for that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Especially for somebody that didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a good starting point. So what was the first, do you remember the first piece that you did?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, tell us about that.
It was my bedroom dresser, which now my son has, and it is all scratched up to heck and back. Paint's falling off and everything because it's crappy paint.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So what, after you did the dresser, you realized you enjoyed this, I guess.
I did, and I actually reached out and did some research and figured out that I could reach out on Instagram and become kind of like an influencer and reach out to paint companies and get them to kind of, I guess, sponsor me and send me paint samples for a review. So I got a chance to try different brands in exchange for reviews.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So we're here on the Knoxville Business Show. We're with Lindsey Johnson, and she is talking about how she got started painting and redoing furniture. What she has just told us is something uncanny, right? Reaching out to other paint companies and talking to them and asking them if they would send you a sample, and then you doing a review online. You want to talk about crafty and thrifty? This girl, she knows how to do that. All right, sorry. So go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Yep. So I tried, and I don't know if I can say the brands.
Sure.
I don't know if I can.
Oh, gosh.
I've tried anything from, oh gosh, what is the name of the brand that I started with? I think it was Mud Paint was one of them. That was my very first piece that I did after the Hobby Lobby paint.
Okay.
And that piece is in my bedroom. That's one of the pieces that I sent you.
Okay.
That was the first antique piece that I ever did.
What was that was the very first one? Ryan, cue that piece up if you have it. The very first one. What was it? You remember?
It was like a sage green piece.
Sage green piece.
And it's mud paint. Nope, not that one.
Not that one, Ryan.
Nope.
Keep flipping, she said.
Nope.
Keep flipping.
Nope.
That might have been all the ones we had that he put together.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. So sage green, kind of mud green.
It was
color.
Sage green, kind of a muddy color, and it had traces of white on it. But that was one of my first antique pieces, and I have a love for antique pieces ever since I was a kid. They just have so much potential.
Yeah.
Some of the other brands that I used was, I want to say that it's called Picket Fence or something.
I've heard of that actually.
Then there's one called, oh God, what is it called? Fat Paint. They sent me some. The Real Milk Paint sent me some. Miss Mustard Seed Milk Paint sent me some. Milk Paint is real finicky though. It's a love-hate relationship. You have no control over it.
Yeah.
My last paint company that sent me some was Dixie Belle Paint, and that is the one that I stuck with and will use for all of eternity.
Awesome.
Dixie Belle Paint.
So Dixie Belle Paint seems to have risen to the top.
Yes.
All right. Awesome. So I guess it's safe to say, just like any other paint that if you're painting your house, there's kind of upper tier quality all the way down to lower tier. And I got to tell you, before this very moment, I didn't even realize that for chalk paint. I just figured it was one and all the
Oh
same.
no, there's a total difference in all of them. And every single one that I tried, there's a difference. And you just got to find that right one for you.
Yeah, based
So,
off your style.
yeah, your style, the feel of it, the quality, and the price, whatever fits your budget.
Okay, yeah.
You know.
Well, let's cue up, Ryan, cue up that first piece. Maybe Lindsey can tell us a little bit about that piece and why she selected that. So what's interesting to me, Lindsey, is I have actually done a couple pieces myself.
Have you?
Nothing that I want to brag about or really show a before or after photo. But we kind of went through this. When did chalk paint kind of become popular?
I want to say that from the research that I've done, it really started in the 90s, but it did not really become popular till about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it just hit this crazy frenzy.
Yeah, yeah.
So
that's kind of what I was thinking. And in the business that we're in, we sell a lot of furniture. A lot. I would say in 2019 we probably sold 25,000 pieces.
Oh yeah, so it's really boomed for y'all.
Yeah, and we have a lot of buyers who, quite frankly, they buy the pieces, they take them home, sand them, do whatever they have to do, put the paint on there, and then flip them and resell them. How much is that? Which I think is an awesome business. Is that kind of where you're at now? Is that where you're looking for these unique pieces to bring home?
Yeah.
And then just kind of do something. So tell people about how can they find Lindsey and how could they? Now? Are you taking like custom orders?
I do. I take custom orders. And really what I try to do is I look at like the estate sales.
Okay.
Like the auctions. I have a couple of bids out on some of your estate sales right now.
Okay.
I have a max that I am willing to do because I also have to make a profit.
Yep.
I look on Craigslist. I look on Marketplace. I also have former clients and friends that send me stuff that they see or that maybe they're selling, know.
Right.
So.
Right, just go back to the big screen on that deal. Just pull that background down. Go back to the big screen. So you're out essentially picking.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Yeah. I mean, you have to look and you have to hunt for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's almost like a full-time job.
It is a full-time job. Yeah.
It is a full-time job.
Yeah.
So if you had one particular piece, Ryan, go ahead and go back to the big screen there, just showing us. If you had, let's just say a dresser. If you were, his crashed out.
Yeah.
Just
he's rebooting.
That's okay. You can click right here and just pull the background off. There you go. He's good. Yeah. If you had, let's just say a dresser. An oak dresser, we'll say a 6-drawer, or we'll just use a 4-drawer dresser. Is there an average time that you spend on that? Is that something like it's going to take you 4 hours, 2 days?
An oak average 4-drawer dresser, you said?
Yeah.
Any damage?
No. No, pretty clean.
I'd say anywhere from 4 to 6 hours.
4 to 6 hours. So basically, I mean, it's kind of a day-long process.
Yeah.
Or a half a day to a full day.
If there's no damage, then yeah, anywhere from 4 to 6 hours.
And that's probably not doing anything like extravagant.
Exactly. Nothing extravagant, just a plain paint job.
Yeah. Ryan, if you're back up, awesome. Let's cue up some of the photos there, if you can. I think Ryan's computer crashed out on us. That's okay. That's part of this deal. We're just live. There we go. Booyah. There's a, what do you call that there? That looks like a dresser you converted, maybe? Or?
Yep, I turned it into a kitchen island. So that dresser was a stinky dresser.
Yep, looks like about a 1930s. Looked like it's an old, yeah. Was it a veneer?
Yes, and it was very stinky. We left it outside for 2 months and it still stunk.
Yes.
I laid baking soda in it. It still stunk. I did coffee grounds. We did everything. I sealed it. Did everything under the moon. And it still stunk, which is why it got that makeover.
Yeah.
We decided to take the drawers out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
That's a super cool piece, though. I mean, that's just a small example of like, I think most people, a lot of people would have bought that dresser, took it home, and realized, whoa, this thing stinks. Sit it outside. Because those of you who are watching, if you don't know, if you've never had an older piece of furniture that's been locked up in a house or in a basement for 25 years, it's going to stink. That's just part of the deal, right? And wood needs oil in order to continue to stay nice, healthy, and fresh. But I think most people after 2 months would have just trashed that thing.
Oh no. I paid for it.
I know, but I'm telling you, a lot of people I think would have just said, you know what,
Probably.
it's too much, honey, get rid of this thing. And me being the honey, I'm probably taking a sledgehammer to it and I'm tossing it.
And we almost did.
Right?
We were almost ready to, and I was like, no, I paid for this. We're gonna do something with it.
Yeah.
And we did.
So you had the vision to be able to create that. That's awesome.
Yeah. And my husband does a lot of work with it with me. I don't do any of this by myself. He helps too.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's super cool. Now this one is, I would call it extravagant. Maybe you wouldn't, but I think it's awesome.
This is a custom.
So tell me a little bit about that piece.
That is Peacock is the color by Dixie Belle, and the legs got gold tipped, and it is I believe a transfer. I'm trying to remember if it's IOD or Prima, but it's just got a transfer, and you rub it on. And then I think it's Dixie Belle's. What's that stuff called? I don't know. It comes in a little tin, and you just gold accent it on the pieces.
Okay.
So I went around because that's just the black and white transfer.
Gotcha.
To gold accent it.
Then you just kind of accent it. Ryan, let's throw up her Instagram. Guys, if you want to follow Lindsey, I highly recommend following her on Instagram. Right there she is at the Tattered Painter. Check her out on Instagram. Wow, this is now. So my question to you is, if I had that before piece there, how could I get that to you? And I mean, I'm assuming can our viewers send you pieces, photos, and you basically give them a quote, like what it would cost to do it for them? Is that the easiest way? So that's the Tattered Painter, Painter.
Yep, you can message me through there, or you can text me or call me on Facebook. I'm pretty flexible.
Awesome. We got another one on there, Ryan? If we do, let's pop it and check that. Now, this one, I love it.
That one was a custom as well.
Yeah.
And those are more transfers. I like to leave the legs kind of the original to give the different tones.
Yeah.
That one was a custom.
That is really cool, and I call that a server. I don't know what you call it.
A small buffet.
Small buffet.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That is, I'm sure you probably know this, but for our audience, that's a Depression era piece. That's 1920s, and you can easily tell that by the legs. The legs give it away, as well as the front carvings on the doors. We call that Depression era furniture. Many times you'll find sets, but a lot of times they are just
so hard to find sets.
A lot of times they're just in kind of shambles. Yep. Great example. We have an auction coming up on White Street. The very similar piece to that one is in that auction.
I'll be keeping an eye out for that one.
So that's the let's see. The Williams Estate auction. It's in Clinton, Tennessee, and be on the lookout for that piece.
Oh, I will, definitely.
It's pretty cool. Was that the last one? Right. Oh, we got one more now. I call this a server or a sideboard.
Yeah, buffet.
Buffet. There you go. So talk to us about this piece. That looks like is that walnut or cherry?
I think that it was cherry.
Okay.
That piece. Oh, that piece. The top of that veneer was in such bad shape.
Yeah.
And I spent 2 days getting the veneer off of that.
Oh.
It did not want to come off, but it was just in such bad shape that I had to. And I did a faux wood top on it, painted it on. And it sold within 2 days. A lady from Kentucky came down and got it.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Oh, it was so pretty in person.
No, it's beautiful on the photo. I can only imagine.
And I believe it's a Queen Anne style.
It is. Yep, it is.
If you look at the legs
Absolutely.
and the padded feet,
Yep.
it was beautiful. I almost didn't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
I get really
So do you
attached
get?
to
Yeah, I
my
was gonna say, do you
pieces.
get to that?
Oh
Probably?
yes, I get attached to so many pieces.
Yeah.
This was one particular piece that I really got attached to.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, Lindsey, we try to keep these about 30 minutes. I think we're coming on. We got 20, so we got a few minutes, guys. If you have any questions, you can certainly pop those questions on here. This podcast will be uploaded to your favorite channel, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, any of the podcast networks. Of course, it'll also be saved on the Knoxville Business Show page. I'm sure Lindsey will put it on the Tattered Painter. You can certainly reach out to her at any time and ask any questions. So there is a lot of aspiring people who want to do what you do. If you had to leave them with some guidance, how would you, some person who wants to kind of do some of their own furniture, that's how you started, what would you recommend to them? How would they start?
How would they start? I would definitely recommend by starting small. You know, if you have an end table or side table, go out, buy you a small thing of paint, um, and start small. Just paint a little end table or side table. Make sure it's something that you like. Don't go buy something big because it is an investment, definitely. But just start small. Make sure it's something you really like and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
so don't go buy $1,000 piece of furniture.
Right.
You know, let's
Yeah.
stick to that $25 or $50 piece of
Right.
furniture.
Yes, definitely. Because it is an investment, you know, and it does cost a lot of money down the road, you know.
Yeah.
Just buy you a $10 little table or something, and just some inexpensive paint.
And there's so many, you know, especially, you know, we're in the, you know, for those that this will be online forever. And right now, this is what is today? April the 22nd of 2020, and we're still kind of in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis.
Yes.
You know, but in about 4 to 6 weeks, yard sales are going to open up.
Yes. Oh
Flea markets are going to open up, right?
Yes.
So just be patient, I think,
Yes.
and they'll have an opportunity to go
Yes.
find a side table. And I think it's important to probably talk about wood. Let's make sure it's solid wood.
And if you're going to do it, the main thing is a paintbrush. Make sure you get a good paintbrush because the paintbrush makes all the difference in the world. Don't use a cheap paintbrush.
So if you're going to invest money on
That's
that
where
first
you
one,
really need to start is the paintbrush, in my opinion. That's my personal opinion. The paintbrush makes the biggest difference.
what I mean, and I'm a novice, and I really don't. I've done one project. Is it based off of the bristle quality or the number of bristles that are in there, or?
I don't really know. I know that I use Dixie Belle paintbrushes and Paint Pixie paintbrushes.
Gotcha.
And I've used cheap paintbrushes, and there's just a huge difference. It's all in the paintbrushes and the paint.
Gotcha. Awesome. So invest wisely.
Yes.
So what we're hearing is, don't go big on a piece of furniture,
Yes.
but get good quality products
Yes.
to start with, so that
Yes.
way they won't be disappointed.
Yes.
Awesome.
Definitely.
Ryan, one more time, if you can pop up. If you want to get in contact with Lindsey, and you can certainly send her a piece of your furniture, or if you have a special request, or maybe she has a product line already that maybe she has pieces of furniture that she's already done. I'm sure they can see that on your Facebook page or on your Instagram page. Reach out to her, and I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching the Knoxville Business Show, and we will see you soon. We appreciate all of it if you're watching. Have a wonderful day.